Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Rayceen Productions MC and producer. And joining me today is the goddess of DC and queen of the shameless plug herself, the one, the only, Rayceen Pendarvis.
Bam! Greetings and salutations, all.
Hello, Rayceen. Great to see you. Today we have a really fabulous guest with us today. So I want to welcome to the Team Rayceen YouTube channel, Nina Osegueda. Welcome.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. It is great to have you here with us, Nina.
Thank you.
Yes, always great to catch up and chat and everything. So you know how we do things here. For anyone who's the first time they're watching, please introduce yourself to our audience and let them know a little bit about your background experience and what you do.
Okay, my name is Nina Osegueda. I'm the lead singer and graphic designer and lyricist for A Sound of Thunder. We are a heavy metal band from the DC area. Right now, we're kind of situated in the Manassas area since me and my guitarist live right next door to each other. So, yeah, we are a heavy metal band and we just released a new album. We just released a few new music videos and we just dropped a new single last Friday.
Awesome. Well, it is great to have you here with us today. So let's talk about all the new material and, what you're saying now in this period, this summer 2022, all the new music, the new single. What's that giving? What was the mindset and the thematic elements that you were exploring when you decided to release these for this time?
So we just released a new album called The Krimson Kult, and it was very much inspired by the events of let's say, the pandemic. We wrote all of the music during the pandemic. I wrote the lyrics while we were, there it is. I wrote the lyrics while we were all separated. Me and the guys, during the beginning of the pandemic, we weren't able to see each other for a good maybe 6 months. Once we were able to understand the rules of COVID a little bit better, we started to try and meet each other outside, say hello, do little outdoor meetups. But we were still very cautious about practicing with each other and writing music together because we would have to be enclosed in one space. So my guitarist, Josh, he came up with an idea to separate us all with barriers, kind of like when you go to the bank and you have a plastic screen in front of the bank teller. And he put up shower curtains surrounding me, and all of the guys were masked. And so I wouldn't have to be masked. I had a shower curtain, and our drummer is behind a big plastic drum shield. So we were all separated in this way, and we were able to write the entire album together, separate, but together.
Awesome. And look who we have here. We have Josh, speak of the devil.
Hey, everybody. Sorry, our band mascot, Maddie, had an emergency vet appointment. So I just got back. And
awesome. And how is she doing?
She's 18, which by my calculation is 126 dog years old. So she's doing about as well as a 126-year-old should be doing.
I see. Well, we send our prayers to her. Now, welcome, Josh. And I want you to start out with just introducing yourself to our audience and letting them know a little bit about what you do.
My name is Josh Schwartz, the least metal name of all time, but I am, in fact, a metal guitarist. And I started A Sound of Thunder with our drummer, Chris Heron, about 13 years ago. We found each other on Craigslist and we fooled around writing songs and playing a couple of in fact, only one very small local gig with a different singer. And although we spent a lot of time rehearsing with various band members, and nothing really came together until we met Nina, also on Craigslist. We're a completely Craigslist formed band. And for me, it was kind of a late in life thing. For metal, at least, I was 30 when we started the band. And just had all these metal dreams that I'd harbored from high school of like rocking out and melting people's faces. And, we're all big nerds, which we have in common. So we wanted to tell, big nerdy metal songs about wizards and dragons. And
there you go. I was just about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might
That
have
was-
noticed that behind him is like 10 million comic books.
Oh yes, and so many
I was
so many
looking.
Marvel things. Yes, yes, I love it. I was going to say one of the things that stands out every time I listen to your music, it feels it gives me so much Thor vibes. It gives me so much Thor vibes. And I love that so much. It feels like I'm going on an adventure, I'm going on a quest, and we're out there to make it happen. And I love that feeling it brings.
Yeah, one of the things we discovered on the most recent recordings, which seems so obvious in retrospect, but after 12 years, for the first time ever, in production meeting with our record producer Kevin, we were talking about the new songs, and he said, we got to produce this like it's musical theater.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes so much sense for our music. Like it's intended. I think we all envision it like it's a movie or a musical theater, and that it would have big visuals, and so that's, I think, the best description of what we do. It's metal musical theater.
Yeah,
I think it's
fantastic
amazing.
Characters.
Dramatic. Yeah.
When I was first introduced to you guys, I was thinking about, and I was like, wow, they're very unique in a way that when I listened to heavy metal, I was listening to Black Sabbath and Kiss and Iron Maiden and all of them. That was, from my day when I was really loving heavy metal, and I still do. I love all kinds of music, but when I was I started looking at all the videos, started listening to your music, and it was like, wow, they'd be way beyond heavy metal. It's like, get ready for a full show. It's like theatrics, it's like Broadway meets heavy metal, and it's like you, Nina, walk onto the stage and you just, the band is already a ball of fire. And here you are, this little crack of thunder that comes with a ball of fire, and it just adds on to it. And it's like, it's an experience.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love it. Usually I have to pay people to tell me such nice things about me.
That is wonderful. And of course, as self-professed nerds, storytelling is very, very important. Of course, how do you kind of get in that mindset and tackle that narrative as you sit down to create this music, especially for this album?
So this album, the Krimson Kult, like I said, it was very much inspired by the pandemic and by events that were happening all around us. So it was kind of easy for me to write my emotions, but I'm also a very, I like to tell stories. I don't really like to say things in a super obvious way. So rather than telling a story about, like, for example, a rundown town in Tennessee, I wrote a story about a wizard. So that was our last single that we released this Friday. It's called The Wizard of Crow County. And it's probably the only ballad on our album, but apparently it's a fan favorite. So it's stuff like that, taking something that's real and making it a little bit imaginary to give people, like, sort of a story that they can relate to, but not feel too much like it's grounded in the real world.
Everybody needs an escape.
Yes.
It's so important. And it's so, when you think about DC is open, you think about live music coming back after 2 years, and you think about this experience that folks were shut in for so long, and music was saving us. Music, and when you put on your music, you just dance and just jump, and you just let go of all the frustration of the 2-year built up.
Exactly.
I was listening to one of y'all songs, and I was just,
Oh, thank you.
And I was just whipping my hair and everything. I was like, what a great Let Go song.
Thank you.
One of my favorite things, of course, is your music videos, because so much is put into it, whether animated or live action. So much is put into it. So many things that you pick out here and there, and other references and stuff. Let's talk about the Krimson Kult music video. That one, very haunting, very atmospheric. I just love everything that's going on there. Talk to me a little bit about the process of getting that music video together.
Well, we met a very talented director in Catalonia. We did a cover of the Catalan national anthem that went viral over there about 5 years ago. And we met all these wonderful people through that process. And one of them was this director. His name is Ivan Mulero, super talented. And so ironically, even though that song is all about things that are going on in America, that video was shot in Catalonia, Spain. But it really was, you know, and not to take away from the escapism element, but that one really was based on real life and kind of our ideas of what leads to extremism, what leads to political violence, how do people get sucked into these cult-like situations or these information or media silos. And so you see in the video, just for example, there's a beggar on the road with a sign that says "We'll work for food," and the Krimson Kult walks by him and brainwashes him, and the sign changes to "Immigrants stole my job." And so that's just one example in the video. There's a bunch in there, but it just kind of our perception of what's going on. What are people legitimately angry about, and then how does that get twisted into
certainly,
you know, and used to manipulate people.
I really enjoyed watching it. It has some Midsummer vibes as well. Definitely that's up in there. Talk to me actually about your relationship with Catalonia and the Catalan people.
Oh, well, so my mom is from Catalonia, and she immigrated here in, I think 1969 or 68, something like that. And so she came over during the Franco regime when there weren't a lot of opportunities for women. And so ever since I was little, my parents take me back over there to see my grandparents, you know, to see my family once every couple of years. So I always knew growing up that I was half European, and, you know, they always called it Spain. But when we go over there, they call it Catalan, and all of my relatives speak Catalan. And I always knew there were two different languages, but it never really hit me until this happened, until they started voting for independence. And when we went viral, I was very much educated by all of the people over there that were trying to talk to us and, you know, explain the situation more clearly. So I would say that my relationship with Catalonia has strengthened because of this viral video and music. And I'm just really grateful to everybody for helping.
I love that. And now you're able to shoot that music video there and take a piece of Catalonia and have it there forever. That's
exactly. And they're like now such a big part of us. Like now that we have Ivan doing our music videos, and we met like an incredible comic artist, like actually several really good comic artists who've done some art for us in a previous comic book we've released, and who are working with us to release another comic book. We've got this whole comic book project that we're working on, and they're going to translate it into French and Catalan and Spanish and English. So it's huge, and it's all because of them. So they're like our second family over there now.
I love that. That's awesome. That is so awesome.
That's amazing. As artists, you're influenced by the times, and a lot goes on into your music that's very reflective. But as an artist, who influenced you? What other heavy metal or rock artists or rock bands or heavy metal? It could even be country, pop, or anybody, you know, because metal is is metal and punk and rock and all of that is it's just a mashup of everything, you know. And so who influenced you guys?
Well, we all have different influences, but you actually you listed all of mine already, because Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, like Deep Purple. So I'm like the old head kind of. I like the 70s hard rock and metal is my thing.
And I'm actually like, I got into metal later in life. I didn't go to my first metal show until I was 22. So the first metal album that I ever owned. I don't even know if it's metal. It's more like hard rock, but it was Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. And I listened to that on my little Walkman in elementary school forever. And my favorite singers were actually like Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey. So I learned to sing more from like soul singers. Like that's really where I learned to sing. But the style of music I got from Dio, because I had the Wayne's World soundtrack, and X Japan, and then it went on to Dragon Force and more newer metal bands for me, because I got into it so late. But yeah, as a singer, I'm actually learning more from soul music.
Awesome. I liked how you brought up the collaboration you have doing the comics now. That's with Valiant Comics, correct?
Well, we had a different collaboration with Valiant. We actually did a whole concept album about their character Shadow Man, which is officially licensed with them, and they helped us. We were getting the plot points from the comics before they were published, which was great. But we have our own characters. Nina originally created the Queen of Hell character, which was at first was just a song that we did 10 years ago now. Then we came up with the villain Udaroth, who's the Queen of Hell's nemesis. And so Nina had all this lore, this Queen of Hell lore that existed before, and then we've been kicking it back and forth between the two of us, kind of adding pieces here and there for 10 years. And once we met this fantastic artist, Mike Rotera in Catalonia. And also we have a fantastic writer who's helping us. He's doing the comic script, Rafer Roberts. He is from Valiant. He did Archer and Armstrong and Harbinger with Valiant. And then we all did the plot together, and I'm editing it. So that's our own A Sound of Thunder published comic coming soon.
Amazing. I love that. So still giving that storytelling, still giving that fantasy, still giving that adventure in so many different ways. I love
I don't think we will not rest until there's a movie.
Yes.
How about that?
The dream.
Yeah, that is the aim. I love it. Well, now that your album is out, you're dropping singles, things are opened up back again. Can people expect to see you on the road and start getting into that live show life?
I don't know, Josh. Are they?
Well, yes. Short answer, yes. We're playing in Brooklyn, New York on July 30th coming up, and then we're playing at Rehoboth Beach in August. So right now we have a couple dates here and there after that. We don't have a full tour planned right now, although we are all saving our time off, getting ready to hopefully do some touring soon.
Yeah, we got to save up our PTO. We all got to make a living.
To be honest, it feels like we're all still we have one foot still in the pandemic. Like,
definitely.
It's a mindset change to be like, oh, we can do things again.
Certainly.
I think everybody is functioning that way. It's as artists, we all tend to function in a way that reflects what we've been through. So everybody's like, can we do this? Are we ready for that? Are we ready to jump into that? Because you come out of this period of not doing anything, but sitting at home, either creating, writing, listening to other stuff, or reading and exercising, eating, doing all of these other things we've been doing for 2 years, but we haven't experienced the gift of the live experience with music and interacting. And as artists, that energy you feed off, your band, your energy is so important. You guys already come to the stage with fire and thunder. So the audience feeds off of all that, but when they are jumping up and they are in frenzies and they are taking the journey with you, it is such a high for an artist.
Yeah, it's a huge high to be on stage again. I almost got the guys to agree to a huge show a couple of weeks ago, but they were like, all right, calm down. We can't do this in a month. So I'm like, all right, well, let's put it on the books for a couple of months in the future. But I am so excited to get back on stage. We did these photos that you're showing now, they're from our show in Baltimore that we did a couple of months ago. And man, that was it was live streamed the whole time. And I was so excited during
Oh, the
that
Baltimore
show.
crowd goes up, honey.
Man, they were so
crowd.
good. Yeah. I loved the crowd. I loved everybody. Like all the other bands were great. It was so much fun.
Mhm.
So I'm super excited to head out to New York and to Rehoboth in a couple of weeks here.
Awesome, awesome. Well, how can people find out more about you, keep up with everything that you're doing, keep up with dates, follow you, and of course, grab that music?
Josh?
A Sound of Thunder Band is our website, and everything is available to order through the website. We post all the news updates there, and I still ship all the orders myself. We'll sign everything for free. We never charge for autographs, and if you send a message through the contact form, it goes directly to us. So we're completely independent. If you get on any of our social media accounts, you can get right to us. So we like to be in touch with fans directly, and that's just kind of our whole thing. But
that's so important. Fans love when an artist is personal. It's like, did you sign this or did your publicist sign?
Oh yeah, we might be guilty of being a little too personal with our fans. Like we're all, I call them like our friend fans, because it gets to the point where we get to know them very, very well. And I'm so grateful to all of them. A couple of years ago, I was in a really bad car accident, and I got so many letters and like photos, and people were sending me like comic books to keep my spirits up. It was the nicest. I mean, it was a horrible experience, but it was also the nicest experience I've ever had. So yeah, we're just so grateful to our fans, and that's why we love to talk to them as much as we can.
Awesome. Well, fans, the website link will be in the description below, so you can go ahead, click on it, and get everything that you need from A Sound of Thunder. Nina, Josh, thank you so much for joining us today. It has been such a pleasure, and we wish you luck and so much more success on your journey.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. To our viewers, please follow Team Rayceen Productions at Team Rayceen on all forms of social media. Click around our YouTube channel and check out our other interviews, forums, vlogs, and more. And while you're at it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But most of all, thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.